The science of moon cheese. What makes this cheese so unique? The moon is not made of cheese. Instead, the moon is made of rock and dust, just like Earth. The name, moon, comes from the Latin word for the month, which is how long it takes the moon to orbit Earth. Cheese comes from the Old English word for curdled milk. Cheese is made from milk that has been curdled by adding an acid, such as vinegar. The moon contains no acid, so you could not make it into cheese. In addition, the moon does not contain any dairy products, so there would be no milk to curdle in the first place. Cheese is a dairy product made from the curdled milk of various mammals, including cows, goats, and sheep. The curds are drained, pressed, and aged to create the final product. Hundreds of different types of cheese vary in taste, texture, and smell depending on their production method. For example, cheddar cheese is made by adding an acidic starter to milk and heating it until the curds separate from the whey. This process produces a cheese with a sharp, tangy flavor and a crumbly texture. In contrast, brie cheese is made by adding a bacterial culture to milk and then allowing it to ripen for several weeks, resulting in a cheese with a soft, creamy texture and a mild, earthy flavor. Despite their differences, all types of cheese share one common trait: they are all delicious. The coagulation of milk proteins casein and whey determines the form of cheese. Rennet is added to milk, causing the proteins to separate into solid curds and fluid whey. The curds are then cut into small pieces and mixed with salt, which helps to expel even more whey. Finally, the curds are placed in a mold and pressed into their desired shape. The amount of time the cheese spends in the mold will determine its final texture. Soft cheeses are typically removed from the mold after a few hours, while harder cheeses may be left to drain for several days. The shape of a wedge of cheese is simply a result of the process of making cheese. I'm positive that cheese is a delicious and versatile food that anyone can enjoy in many different ways. I'm also optimistic that the moon is not made of cheese, despite its name. Finally, I'm delighted that the science of cheese making is fascinating and complex, producing various slices of cheese with unique flavors and textures.